Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 438 based on novel. So let's start. It seems that no strong man will take action in a short time. So, roll over for this deity. After Shurenshi was quiet, the evil man's face became hideous, his body turned into a beast, his footsteps stepped on the void, and he swept away towards Xiao Xiao and Xiao Lin. The terrifying evil spirit he carried was like the end of the day, and no one could do it. Enemy. The powerhouse who touches the reincarnation, even if it is because of the limitation of the plane, the strength is not enough to exert 100%, but once the power is exerted, it is enough to destroy the sky and destroy the earth, not to mention the arrival of this guy. But with the help of the foreign evil clan, some evil tools can not only hide their own breath, but also avoid the induction of the strong in the world. Although the Dochi continent is a low-level plane with poor stability, under the control of the evil man, the energy fluctuations of the attack will not destroy this place. Sister, let's go. Xiao Lin's expression changed, and he pushed Xiao Xiao out. The lines on the center of his eyebrows bloomed with endless brilliance, as dazzling as a bright moon. Blood axe, hunt. Danji, Tu Tian. Sea of fire and cloud. Looking at this scene, the hearts of the peak Do Sheng powerhouses around him shuddered. Against the huge depression, they displayed all the fighting spirit in their bodies without a trace, trying to buy time for the two to escape. You brother, you are really naughty. If something happens to you, I, the elder sister, won't have the face to see my father and mother kiss them. Take the rest of the clan and live well. This is the greatest comfort to my sister. In the void, the almost ice-cold body swayed slightly, the seductive red lips parted lightly, and there was endless pride on the cheeks that could be called stunning, and no doubts or refutations were allowed. Between the slender waist and limbs, a colorful snake that was only an inch long stood quietly, and a fierce light appeared above the snake's eyes, like a volcano that was suppressed to the limit, about to spew out endless anger. Do not. Sister. Xiao Lin's pupils shrank violently, and an awe-inspiring sadness emerged, and the heart-piercing roar cut through the sky and went straight to the sky. Before Xiao Lin and many strong men could react, their bodies were suddenly enveloped by a burst of colorful energy, and they were sent thousands of miles away in the blink of an eye. Daddy, you used to protect us and protect this continent. Now Xiao Xiao has grown up, so let me do it. After doing all this, Xiao Xiao's beautiful face showed a trace of relief, and the colorful little snake above his body screamed in the sky. The clouds at the top of the canopy began to change, and streaks of palpitating energy beams fell from the sky. That kind of power was enough to swallow the sky and devour the earth. It was for the real swallowing python. Colorful swallowing python? Well, just use your blood as the source of traction to help us draw out the traces of the Xiao clan. The dragon is alive. Although the evil man was surprised, this attack could not stop him, and his fierce voice was like the coming of a world destroyer, instantly depriving this world of all life. There was contempt on the evil man's cheeks, and with a flick of his finger, an extremely dark magic light spurted out. CC. The fierce attack was powerful and hit Xiao Xiao's body lightly. Xiao Xiao seemed to be fatally wounded. In fact, I prefer people to be alive rather than dead people. Let the living witness the ***** with their own eyes, and then be pulled out of their blood under their pleadings, deprived of their original power, and even watch the destruction of this world with their own eyes. In that way, the damage caused by the Xiao clan to us can be mitigated. A single blow disintegrated all of Xiao Xiao's defenses and attacks. Xiao Xiao's slender body was firmly bound by black and red energy shackles. The bumpy figure was even more vividly displayed, but on the skin of his body, a trace of blood was corroded. Flow out. You devil. You can't die. So, send this king to hell. Feeling the provocative and hateful words of the evil man, Xiao Xiaomei's eyes had bloodshot surging, her body entangled with demonic energy trembled abruptly, and the colorful snakes around her instantly rushed into the sky, strung into the sky, buzzing thunder and lightning, swallowing the sky. The power of the power has increased the power of the two to the peak. Today, no one can save you. If you want to blame, you are the root of the Xiao family. Die. Seeing Xiao Xiao's stubborn and ruthless character, even using the seven-colored snake as a guide, the power beyond this world erupted, but the evil man snorted coldly. The dark palms stretched out, the pitch-black fingers spread out, and an invisible evil force enveloped Xiao Xiao in the void. There was no trace of pity and jade, the evil man's palms shrunk violently into fists, surpassing Xiao Xiao's terrifying power, and shattered the void around him. Attractive skin, swimming towards its body, that kind of terrifying evil power, I am afraid that in the blink of an eye, it will completely eat away all of Xiao Xiao's life. Even the terrifying space force brought about by the tight grip of the hand, once dissolved, is enough to shatter Xiao Xiao's body and destroy his body and spirit. The colorful swallowing python, Bloom. Looking at this scene, Xiao Xiao's 3,000 blue silks fell down like a dying queen. Without any memory of her life, a colorful halo lingered on her entire body. Above the sky, the colorful little snake in the cloud swooped down, with a terrifying aura like a broken bamboo, falling down quickly. But even with this level of power, it can't resist the evil man. Sister, Miss Xiao Xiao. Her Majesty the Queen. Watching this scene, the hearts of countless strong men became awe-inspiring, their noses became sour, and a surge of sourness poured into their hearts unconsciously. The blood energy spread, instantly shattering the energy shield of Xiao Xiao's protective cover, and scrambling to face the battle center. Even if their strength was insignificant, they would never allow Xiao Xiao to fall in front of them like this. To die, let's all die together. It's ridiculous. The evil man didn't seem to be in a hurry, with a trace of disdain in his eyes, watching this touching scene. Bang bang bang. The colorful snake was blessed by the power of the clouds in the sky, and its power skyrocketed, constantly waving the colorful beams of light, trying to drive away those evil forces, but no matter what he did, it was devoured by it, distorting Xiao Xiao's space power and evil power. Affected. Brat. Wong buzzing. The corners of Xiao Xiao's mouth overflowed with obvious blood. Under the suppression of the power of space and the suppression of evil forces, the body tightened, and a sense of distortion emerged. It seemed that the next moment would completely disappear and turn into dust. Xiao Xiao shook his head bitterly and stubbornly, all the power in his body instantly boiled. Blow yourself up. With my blood, the blood stains the 9 heavens. With my power, all evils will be shaken back. A mighty voice emerged from Xiao Xiao's mouth suddenly, bursts of light appeared on the entire body, flickering like fireflies. Do not. Sister. No. Everyone was in chaos, especially Xiao Lin, who had a beautiful face, his pupils shrank tightly, his body moved rapidly, his fingertips were mercilessly embedded in his own flesh and blood, and a heart-piercing pain emerged. Wong buzzing. The two terrifying forces were about to be released, but at the same time, they were suppressed by an inexplicable force, and the evil force of the evil man and the power of space did not brew in the end. The amber-colored lotus dais are like an indestructible energy light shield, completely shrouding everyone above the sky here. Next time, don't do this kind of thing. All the power in Xiao Xiao's body became quiet, and a long-lost peace of mind emerged involuntarily. A majestic and warm voice came from the distant sky. Everyone looked down, and Wei could see a rather emaciated black figure running fast. And the outline, back, and even the breadth of this emaciated black shadow seemed to be exactly the same as the so-called supreme powerhouse in Dochi continent. That is Emperor Xiao Yan. Is it an illusion? The sudden scene made Xiao Xiao, who was already determined to die, a little lost, as if a brief hallucination appeared in his mind. The bloodshot eyes kept flashing, and the slender eyelashes couldn't help but stare at the speed on the ground in the distance. Moving shadows. The black shadow is thin, but at first glance it gives people a sense of peace of mind. The extremely stable aura above the black shadow can give people the illusion that with him there, it seems that this world will not collapse, no matter the face, it doesn't matter what kind of strong enemy. Sorry, I'm late. This time, with Daddy here, no one can hurt you. The crisp voice seemed to have some kind of magic power, and just after it was released, the whole world hummed, the thin black shadow stepped across, the broad palm stroked the hair of the beautiful woman, and the gentle power was conveyed away like nectar. Twist. Looking at this tall figure who was thinking of Xiao Xia, Xiao Xiao was stunned for a moment, then raised his slender fingers and gently pinched the man's arm. Cece, what are you doing? It hurts. When the man saw this, he also frowned, with a cooperative look on his face, and a very doting smile. Daddy. Hearing the man's so familiar voice, the last line of defense in Xiao Xiao's heart collapsed, tears poured out like a dam bursting, and his exquisite body fell on Xiao Yang, as if he had lost his beloved toy and was malicious towards his father. A coquettish little girl, there is still a little bit of a queen on the top. This sudden scene also filled the minds of many other powerhouses. Immediately, one after another, they looked at the two in the sky with astonished eyes, and their faces were extremely shocked and excited. It's him. It's him. It's him. That man is back. The most powerful person in Dochi continent, Yang Emperor Xiao Yan. Wong buzzing. After the rest, Zuna and the 3 daughters Yangran stepped out from a distance, especially when Kailin Maimai saw the peerless woman in Xiao Yang's arms. Her heart rose violently, and the scars on Xiao Xiao's body were like acupuncture directly pierced. In Kaylin's heart, extreme anger emerged. "Leave this to me. Your mother and they are back too. Go quickly." Xiao Yang calmed Xiao Xiao and the colorful little snake down, and immediately led him to the void and handed it over to the 3 Kaylin girls. He just got up, and there was a rare and extremely mad slaughter in his eyes, staring straight at him. "The evil man in front of you." Entering the Dochi continent, because of the evil blood mist above the sky, all the voids were imprisoned, so some time was wasted, but fortunately it was not too late. Xiao Yang. At this moment, with the appearance of Xiao Yang, the contempt in the eyes of the evil man disappeared, replaced by a dignified look. The space channel was constructed by someone, and it seemed that someone crossed the space through the space channel, so he sent people to the space channel to guard it. If Xiao Yang appeared here, I am afraid that the fate of the 2 kings in the space channel would be very obvious. It seems that my name has also spread to the ears of your alien race. But I believe that after this time, my reputation will continue to grow. In Xiao Yang's voice, cold killing intent emerged. Obviously, this guy has really touched Xiao Yang's inverse scales. Now Xiao Yang has turned into a ferocious beast, with endless cold killing intent in his eyes, making this void violent. Shake it up. That kind of extremely cold killing intent, like a 10,000-year cold cave, shudders. It seems that the so-called endless fire territory lord is really extraordinary, but the evil man snorted coldly, his body turned into a black glow, and shot directly at Xiao Yang. A crisp and harsh voice sounded in the sky, and everyone backed away unconsciously, giving up the space here to the 2 of them. The 2 attacked one after another, like 2 gods. Every time they made a move, they would bring out an endless sense of distortion. Crack. After entanglement, the evil man and Xiao Yang punched each other, and the void around the 2, like cracks in broken lenses, spread out from the battle between the 2. It's really enviable to have such a terrifying power in the middle of the 8-star fighting immortal stage. With one blow, the evil man's eyes finally turned gloomy at this moment. Obviously, the rumors about Xiao Yang were not false. Even after a simple fight, the evil man knew that Xiao Yang's fighting power was better than the rumored one. More terrifying. Crack, click, Dao after Dao cracks spread out, shattering this piece of heaven and earth. The meaning of vicissitudes is endless. The red armor on this guy should be an evil tool. With that kind of thing, he can use all his power without any scruples and is not restricted by the plane. On the contrary, I don't have the protection of those powers. When I use the power in the middle stage of the 8-star fighting immortals, I will be squeezed out by this plane every time I use it, and I will be squeezed out after a long stalemate. The 2 stopped, and Xiao Yang also discovered some hidden traces. Xiao Yang, remember the name of this king, the royal family outside the territory, King Beaya. The evil man gave a grim smile, and the terrifying voice made the void buzzing here, but behind him, there was a strong evil energy, which was rapidly brewing and forming, as if he was summoning something. With a big wave of Xiao Yang's hand, the fire of holy flame emerged, stabilizing this space. Otherwise the battle of the 8-star fighting immortal perfection powerhouse would be enough to tear it apart easily. Holy flame domain. After calling duo, he took the 2 figures of King Beaya and himself into his own domain, and stood on the top of Genting far away. Only then did he feel relieved. This approach can naturally minimize the loss and damage. It's useless to do so much. Xiao clan, this time it will be completely bloodbathed. There was some fear in King Beaya's icy eyes after breathing. A black hole brewed out behind him, and 10 people stepped out at the same time, making Xiao Yang's domain space buzzing, as if it will completely collapse at any time. The 10 people formed a smear of black lightning together, blasting towards Xiao Yang and surrounding him, locking all of Xiao Yang's escape routes. The terrifying power contained within each body was simply appalling. At this moment, countless people froze for a moment, watching the changing battle situation on the sky, their fists clenched unconsciously. If even the number 1 powerhouse in the continent loses, I am afraid that they are the only ones who do it themselves. Even if they fall, they will feel much better than the shame of being occupied by others. Mother, Daddy, will you win? With a red nose, Xiao Xiao lay quietly in Kaylin's arms, feeling the warmth that she had not seen for a long time, and pouted her lips softly. She knew very well the terrifying power of King Beaya, so she couldn't help but worry. Don't worry, your father is the strongest. These guys deserve death for their crimes. The 3 Kaylin girls didn't move. Their purpose was naturally to maintain this world and protect this continent. The rest of the power should be handed over to Xiao Yang. But the sky looked like this. A humming sound sounded, accompanied by a huge spaceship, A gap was abruptly torn from the void of the cloud, which was extremely shocking. What happened? Looking at the gap that suddenly appeared in the cloud, a spaceship slowly emerged, and King Beaya's expression became ugly. It seems that he still underestimated Xiao Yang's strength and skill. The terrifying aura contained on the spaceship made his brows wrinkle. Prince, the situation here may have been seen by the Endless Fire Territory. Those guys are the powerhouses of the Endless Fire Territory. You have a distinguished status, so you should leave quickly. Among the 10 shadows, there is one person who has extremely sharp eyes and speaks at a glance, but his voice is extremely worried. After all, this is the world of 1,000 people. Even with the protection of evil tools and 10 ordinary kings, it is not enough. Solve the crisis here. The ordinary king-level powerhouse among the 10 foreign evil races, you are really terrifying. But the extraterritorial invaders who are not owned by the mere black, white and red third-order kings, 10 ordinary kings, can't keep you. Xiao Yang glanced at the past at will, and found that among the 10 shadows, the strengths actually ranged from the initial stage of the 8-star Dochi Yan to the complete, but their strengths were far from the king level that Xiao Yang had encountered in the past. After sensing the past, it seems that the evil power in their bodies is qualitatively different from the previous kings. That kind of feeling, as if the power in them was fueled by pulling the seedlings, and it was vain and uncertain. Even so, with a wave of his hand, he can summon 10 kings as helpers. I am afraid that this guy's identity is definitely not low among the foreign evil races. Don't talk too much. King Beaya snorted coldly, a row of blood-colored fangs showing at the corner of his mouth, extremely wild, completely different from humans. Go. I'll deal with King Beaya, and the other powerhouses will catch them alive. With a wave of Xiao Yang's palm, dozens of earth-shattering energy fluctuations instantly erupted above the spaceship, and dozens of strong men came one after another to surround these guys. Cici, what a terrifying guy. At the back of the mainland, Xiao Xiao and the others trembled with excitement and stood up directly from their seats. With their sense of smell, they could not know that it was the power of Dochi Yan, but after sensing the past, they found that the power on their bodies was almost the same. Now the number of people is Xiao Yang's absolute advantage. In their eyes, a look of relief emerged, as if the catastrophe of Dochi continent is over. Kill. These are evil races from outside the territory, you should be careful to be corrupted by them. If you have to, you can kill yourself. Hun Tianhao took the lead and launched a battle in the huge Holy Flame realm. The other strong men followed suit. The whole realm was buzzing, and the majestic energy fluctuations were noticeable, and the entire Dochi continent became turbulent. The aliens are also old rivals. This time, I'll let you all pay with your life. Dragon has reverse scales, you will die if you touch it. Ignoring the surrounding battles, Xiao Yang raised his head, his eyes filled with endless slaughter aura. He directly locked onto King Beaya, and his voice sounded like a rolling muffled thunder, resounding in the realm. However, the aura on this King Beaya seems to be somewhat similar to the aura on that little thing, the Golem King. What kind of power is that? It seems that there are many divisions among the evil races outside the realm. They are both kings and have not stepped into the third order black, white and red, but they can enslave 10 ordinary kings. Even if I miscalculate, you can't kill me today. And I also really want to try it. How far has your holy flame been controlled? Facing Xiao Yang's huge lineup, King Beaya was surprised, but he didn't have any fear, and looked at Xiao Yang with fiery eyes. The demon dragon is here. King Beaya snorted coldly, grabbed his hands towards a place in the holy flame domain space. The void collapsed, and there was a pool of black liquid surging inside. Black water droplets dripped, and suddenly turned into a streak of tens of meters in length. In the huge space, an extremely evil creature slowly emerged. The demon dragon appeared, half of its body was bathed in black water droplets, endless greed flashed in the dragon's eyes, the body was covered with layers of black dragon scales, and a trace of black evil lingered, but half of the body alone brought everyone here. Endless depression. Reincarnation stage. It can't come here. Suffer to death. Dragon claw. Xiao Yang roared, keenly aware of the exact strength of this guy. Thunder and lightning flashed around his body, crackling and crackling non-stop. Amber-colored liquid was blessing, and the ancient mystery that reflected Xiao Yang's right palm. The golden hand held the appearance of Jackie Chan's claws, and the offensive became more and more intense, as if under this blow, everything could only be shattered. The cultivation of the 5th transformation of the dragon god does not need any assistance. This is also what Xiao Yang realized when he was promoted to the middle stage of the 8-star fighting immortal. It is the existence of the killer. However, although it does not require the assistance of any medicinal herbs, Xiao Yang can sense that the power of the dragon god claw is related to the caster. Xiao Yang's current dragon claws are powerful enough to wipe out the strongest people in the reincarnation level, and even worthy of reincarnation is enough to fight, but compared with the dragon claws of the Golden Dragon King, it is still a lot of distance away. As for the secret, I'm afraid I can only go to the Dragon Clan to find out in the future. Kill. The dragon did not appear in its entirety. Its breath and King Beaya were the same as those who had just entered the cycle of reincarnation. There was no blessing from evil tools. With the limitation of planes, it could not come here, but half of its body floated. Its pitch-black dragon claws turned into black shadows, with a stream of boiling black aura, submerged into the void under the gaze of everyone, and disappeared instantly. Bang bang bang! Seeing the disappearance of such a strange dragon claws attack, Xiao Yang sneered. Immediately, the golden dragon claws were raised horizontally above his head, and a harsh sound emerged. Crack! The black dragon claws and the golden dragon claws touched, the void distorted, and an extremely domineering and evil aura spread, and after a while, the dragon claws quickly shattered like an electric shock. Evil power, supreme purgatory. Seeing this scene, King Beaya shook his head slightly, as if he was extremely puzzled by Xiao Yang's giant golden claws. The voice fell, and above his body, black water droplets fell out of thin air, dripping into the holy flame space, and bursts of blood mist appeared. Is also blooming with a beautiful red pattern, like strands of faint corpses, gloomy and bloody. Red texture. Taking advantage of the time to stop the repelling demon dragon and return to the void, Xiao Yang glanced at King Beaya and found that an unprecedented red line appeared on the center of this guy's eyebrows, like a demon. Xiao Yang had never heard of that kind of breath and power. At the same time, within Xiao Yang's body, the mysterious burning decision that had been quiet for a long time, the Amber Rock Soul Fire Holy Flame and the Emperor Yang Ring, buzzed violently, as if they were provoked by some kind of provocation, and the unruly wildness spread out. That kind of breath confronts the red pattern on the center of King Beaya's eyebrows, and even surpasses it. Now, let me see how you deal with it. There is some madness in the corner of King Beaya's mouth. He is different from any previous strong man. Burning decision. Feeling the dark and evil tide raging everywhere, Xiao Yang sat up in the void, and Fen Ju, which had already been branded in his mind, started to run at a high speed. The fire of holy flame, inject it. In the past, Xiao Yang always ignored Fen Ju, and his weak strength made it difficult to control Sheng Yang and Fen Ju. Now that he has stepped into the 8 stars, it is enough to cultivate Fen Ju, which has been put on hold for a long time. The level of the exercises does not seem to be important in the great world, but the mighty power of the 7 divine arts still exists deep in Xiao Yang's mind, especially when the demon world broke the seal of the demon emperor. The 3 divine arts were brought to Xiao Yang. The shock of this made Xiao Yang understand that the magic art might be related to the future cycle of reincarnation. Wong buzzing. It was the first time to run Fen Ju with the strength of the 8 starfighting immortals. With the injection of holy flame, Xiao Yang found that everything was different. Fen Ju released countless rich auras, like a bottomless black hole vortex. Sacred flames emerged, purifying all the evil auras here in an instant, and even the dark tide released by King Beaya was also fast. Retreat. Is this the legendary Fen Ju? Ha ha ha. Looking at this scene, King Beaya's voice contained unprecedented madness, roaring. Judging from the power displayed by Xiao Yang, it really belongs to the top cultivation technique in the Great Thousand World, and it is also the supreme cultivation technique practiced by the Holy King and others back then. Since you're here, let's stay. Xiao Yang didn't know why this King Beaya laughed so strangely, but with Fen Ju's power and his current strength, Xiao Yang believed that King Beaya would be killed by himself. Domain Lord, all 10 ordinary king-level powerhouses were executed and killed, and none of them escaped. However, the strength of these guys is not comparable to that of normal kings, and the evil power in their bodies is illusory, as if they were being helped by someone who pulled the seedlings out. It's extremely strange. Hun Tianhao and the 2 8-star fighting immortals spoke together, with great doubts in their voices. In the past, ordinary king-level powerhouses were like doomsday existences, but now Wang level has become someone else's full-time thug. And the strength is also weak, not a little bit. This kind of gap is inevitable. Crack. With one palm, an endless halo of holy flames emerged, and bursts of Sanskrit flames lingered around King Beaya, purifying the source of evil that was engulfing him, and using the flame of holy flames to perform burning decisions. Now Xiao Yang is like her in general. The whole person has completely become tall and powerful. Dragon save me. King Beaya, who had won the ticket, saw that Xiao Yang was actually able to perform Fen Ju to this point, and the confidence and enthusiasm on his face was finally replaced by paleness. If it weren't for the red lines on his eyebrows exuding evil power, I'm afraid he would have been deprived of all life force. Crack. Stop it. The void where the demon dragon appeared just now has been destroyed by Xiao Yang, and now the aura of the demon dragon is emerging, trying to save King Beaya. Hun Tianhao and the others rushed directly to it. Squeak. With a bang, at the same time, a black shadow suddenly appeared in front of everyone. The black shadow was like lightning. Before everyone could see this guy clearly, the latter directly protected King Beaya. Evil, the son of the evil god. Looking at the petite figure in front of him, there was endless red energy in his eyes, a trace of elegant red energy, like a power that all gods were afraid of, emerging. Even the red bloodlines on the center of the puppet king's brows shone with a monstrous brilliance, and a round of huge evil soul shadows, like an evil god's mansion, protected the two of them. What? Son of the evil god? Not good. The two bodies rose out of thin air. With the added shock of the protection of the evil soul shadow, when touching the curtain of the sky at the top of the continent, the petite figure with an unusual expression stretched out his hand and waved at the void, and a darkened space channel emerged. Come out. Both of them submerged into it at the same time and disappeared. Even Xiao Yang and others couldn't touch the fluctuation of that level. These two guys. At this moment, Xiao Yang always felt an illusion in his heart. It seemed that the identities of these two people were very good, especially the puppet king. After the breath, the energy of the heavens and the earth on the entire Dochi continent became squirming, and the ray of light fluttered on everyone's cheeks warmly, making them soberly aware. The catastrophe is over. Ended. Looking at this scene, although I don't know what happened, the whole world became quiet. The broken void was repaired by the many strong men who accompanied Xiao Yang, countless figures knelt down one after another, and a mighty voice sounded. Emperor Yang is mighty. Gods might still exist. It's over, thank you for your hard work. Xiao Yang's voice of relief sounded. Let's go home. After sending everyone away, Xiao Yang just returned to his normal appearance. He took the three women and the others in one fell swoop and headed towards the rear. Wutan City, the hall of the Xiao clan. Little Yenzi. You stinky boy. The core members of the Xiao family, Xiao Zhon and his two older brothers, Xiao Chen and others, naturally included the third daughter of Kailin. Hey. Seeing this, Xiao Yang had no choice but to scratch his head with a smile. He was very pleased with this warm scene. Fortunately, it's not too late to come here. Otherwise the Dochi continent would be really dangerous. Seeing this atmosphere, Mu Yingying gathered up her courage and walked out gently. Mother, is this? Xiao Xiao's keen insight naturally analyzed something, and immediately pouted beside Kailin. I can't blame him for this. Kailin was also helpless about this. After all, she seldom cares about Xiao Yang's type of things. The conservative thinking of the snake people is destined for her to not interfere after marrying Xiao Yang. Father, this is your third daughter-in-law. Xiao Yang took Mu Yingying's jade hand and came to Xiao Zhon and Yao Lao. What? 3 daughters-in-law? Hearing Xiao Yang's words, the two brothers next to him couldn't help staggering and almost fell to the ground. Okay. Hello, third daughter-in-law. Yao Lao nodded, his eyes full of relief. Dad, there is something I need to tell you. Aunt Yun, Aunt Xiaoyi and Zi Yang were in the middle of the battle, but they were taken away by a crack. Seeing the crowd laughing, Xiao Xiao ran in front of Xiao Yang in a very angry manner, and said coldly, obviously there was a bit of dissatisfaction with Xiao Yang in his voice. What? When Xiao Yang heard this, he hurriedly panicked. This incident happened before his arrival, and there was no way to stop it for a while. Specific things. Oh, why did this girl go? While Xiao Yang was talking, Xiao Xiao slowly slammed the door and left, leaving behind a group of people who looked at each other in dismay. Dad, the 3 of them seem to have been rescued by the powerhouse in the distant starry sky. From the emergency situation at that time, there should be nothing wrong. But that level is obviously not something we can understand. Xiao Lin stood up and helped Xiao Xiao. This girl has spent a lot of effort in managing the mainland over the years. She has been in a high position for a long time. The starting point is naturally different from that of ordinary people. It will be fine in a few days. Come here, give me a drink. Today the Xiao family's mansion is cheering up and down. One after another, hearty voices emerged, and the large Xiao clan's residence was prosperous and lively. The reunion scene seemed extremely warm. The jubilation lasted for about a day. From morning to night, the entire Xiao clan, and even the entire Dochi continent, was extremely hot. With the news of Emperor Yang's return, Countless forces rushed to the Xiao clan's mansion, trying to take a look. The posture of the peerless powerhouse. First, it was to congratulate Xiao Yang, and second, it was to understand the so-called New World. After all, the 4 Xiao Yang were strong men who came back from the New World. 2 days later, the Xiao clan went back to the mountains. Now there are only 3 daughters of Zuna, Xiao Zhon, Xiao Chen, Yarou Lao, and several other powerful patriarchs of the Thunder clan of the Yang clan. Naturally, they gathered here to discuss the next thing. There is another person, Han Tianhao. I have to say that this guy has more information than Xiao Yang could have imagined. He has helped Xiao Yang several times, and now he has gained their trust. Little Yenzi, this time. After a long time, Yarou Lao was the first to speak, seeing that Xiao Yang's face did not change much, but his keen soul power was able to capture a subtle change. Obviously, in the decades that Xiao Yang left without breaking the air, this guy's life would definitely not be as peaceful as the Dochi continent. However, they are all fighting saints strong, and there are many magical medicines, so their appearance has not changed much for decades. Well, 5 days. It's almost time to leave. There was always a trace of worry in Xiao Yang's eyes. The object of concern is not only the safety of Dochi continent, but also the 3 daughters who disappeared in a strange way. Among the 3 daughters, except for Zi Yang, the other 2 have a close relationship with Xiao Yang, so even after experiencing the baptism in the world, Xiao Yang is still unable to let go of this. However, Xiao Yang believed that between the 2 of them, it seemed that they would meet again after a long time, and at that time, these old and old accounts would be settled together. Brother Xiao Yang's strength is really terrifying now. And the power of the evil figure that appeared a few days ago is completely beyond our ability to deal with it. Now that the catastrophe is over, I don't know what the next step is for Brother Xiao Yang. The patriarch of the Lei clan and the patriarch of the Yang clan asked with anticipation. His voice was full of excitement. The Dochi continent is indeed not very safe, and the continent is divided into upper, middle and lower planes in the big world, and the Dochi continent is only the lowest one. The restrictions between the planes prevent us from staying for a long time. Senior Soul, I don't know if there is any way to raise the plane level of this continent or upgrade it. Xiao Yang turned his head and asked Soul Tianhao, who was beside him. The Soul Clan information network was set up very far, so it was naturally the best plan to ask him about this kind of thing. Upgrading the continent's level. Doing this can completely increase the spatial stability here, the density of the energy of the heavens and the earth by geometric multiples, and it is enough to bind the Dochi continent and the Dodi continent to help each other. However, this approach is too extreme, and few people have done it in the past. Han Tianhao's face sank as he thought about what he was trying to remember. The ancient races that disappeared on the Dochi continent did not say much about the ancient races on the Dodi continent. Although there were a few clans that did not have a good relationship with the Xiao clan, they had the help of the ancient Yarou clan. Things have become extremely simple. By the way, I remember that an elder of my soul clan accidentally obtained an ancient book, and there were obscure records on it. To upgrade the level of the continental plane requires a core thing. The core of the plane. Han Tianhao patted his head suddenly, as if he remembered something, and said what he knew with a very excited expression. The core of the plane? Xiao Yang murmured, I am afraid this thing is more precious just by hearing the name, but with a general direction, it is like finding a needle in a haystack. The birth of the core of the plane is extremely special. Only in the sea of 10,000 years can there be a slim chance to be born. There is an area called Yuanhai continent far away from Dudi continent. It is said that there are such precious resources at the bottom of the sea for generations. However, it is extremely difficult to obtain such a treasure from the Yuanhai continent. After all, where is the jurisdiction of the Fairyland? Han Tianhao said this, his brows wrinkled. There are not a few of the 7 worlds fighting each other openly and secretly. Okay. Left tomorrow. In addition, send someone to guard the space channel, and lead a group of relatives and friends here to the endless fire area of Dudi continent, where they will get the best resources. If you don't want to go, you can stay in Dochi continent with peace of mind, and wait for me to take back the core of the plane and upgrade it. After the Dochi continent's plane is upgraded, it will be able to face off against the Dodi continent, forming a space channel between each other, which is extremely convenient. Xiao Yang laughed. It was quite a pleasure to solve such a major matter in his heart. After all, the Dochi continent was a world where Xiao Yang was born and raised, and he already had strong feelings. Now that you've decided, let's start. But next, I'm afraid it will take the hard work of the 3 ladies and the patriarchs. Xiao Yang knew that this kind of thing could not be delayed, and now that he was short of time, he hurriedly said. Everyone nodded, especially the patriarchs of several clans. Their eyes were full of madness. They had already wanted to set foot in that world, but there was no chance for the destruction of the space channel. Now that Xiao Yang returned, the worries in their hearts dissipated in an instant. By the way, why haven't you found a way back to Dochi continent for a long time after your ancient race settled in Dodi continent? Xiao Yang murmured as if he remembered something. At that time, the war between heaven and earth had just ended, and all the souls were devastated, and each of them was busy repairing their health. Later, their respective races also sent powerful personnel to find a space channel back to the Dochi continent. For decades, there was no news. In addition, the Dodi continent continued to have disputes. The people in power are constantly changing, and there are great differences of opinion among the ancient races, so this matter has been put on hold. But the last information I got seems to say that the space channel into the Dochi continent has collapsed, and because there are extremely terrifying creatures occupying the space, it cannot be constructed. Sol Tianhao explained with a smile. I see. When Xiao Yang heard the words, he was suddenly dumbfounded. In this case, it matched the situation of the Golden Dragon King and the powerhouses of the extraterritorial evil clan they encountered when the 5 emperors broke through the sky. At this point, things in the Dochi continent are considered calm. Because of the plane restrictions, Zuna and the 3 daughters continue to send strong men in the endless fire domain to maintain the peace of the 2 continents. As for Yarrow Larrow and others, they stayed in the Dochi continent, except for a few other races. Except for the Patriarch, many people did not leave, and the Duki continent was already their homeland, and it was difficult to give up. Of course, because of their strength, Xiao Xiao and Xiao Lin could not stay in the Dochi continent and had to come to the Endless Fire territory. With the arrival of the two, after getting along with each other, especially Mu Yingying's many actions that made people feel like a spring breeze, the contact deepened, and with Zuna Kalin's enlightenment, a few people were relieved, and then the family seemed to be its fun. Seeing Zuna and Kalin looking so happy, especially Xiao Xiao and Xiao Lin, 2 lovable guys, Mu Yingying became jealous and tried to find Xiao Yang to work together several times, but unfortunately it was to no avail. As for Xiao Yang, after setting up the Endless Fire territory and the Dochi continent, he rushed to the Yuanhai continent non-stop, and the upgrade of the Dochi continent plane cannot be delayed. This video will end here.